basic, very basic Danish. If you're a beginner, this is essential. Let's talk about this. You have statements and questions. How to tell the difference? Well, let's see. So here we have some examples, right? The first one is, du glad for dit arbejde. Du glad for dit arbejde. Now, this is of course a statement. Now, you can see that because, well, there's no question mark, right? So that's the easy way. But look at the next one. Du glad for dit arbejde? Du glad for dit arbejde? So this is a question. Are you happy? We want to know. So what is the difference? Again, this is very, very basic. But if you need this, then pay attention. Du we have the do first. That is the subject, the person or the thing doing it. Du glad. Same as in English. You are happy. And then when it's a question, we have the verb first. Du glad? Are you happy? And that's really the essence. Right? Du glad? Statement. Du glad? Question. It's just like that. Now, with these easy questions, usually you'll get something like, ja, eller ja, det er jeg. And yes, I am. Ja, det er jeg. Or, nej, det er jeg ikke. No, I'm not. Så, ja, det er jeg. Nej, det er jeg ikke. Right? So that is the essence, and that is the main point we're gonna, really focus on in this video with many examples. So down here, du har et problem med det. I can do a bit slower. Du har et problem med det. Alright, så statement. Har du et problem med det? Har du et problem med det? Question. Again, because we have this verb. Right? Har du. And this is something that's very basic, and to some of you, maybe too easy. But I do see many comments on the videos, and in my private lessons with students, I still hear people, making this mistake, even though it should not be the case. So remember this, right? The difference between a statement and a question. And again, because it's a yes or no question, the response will typically be something with like, ja, det har jeg. Right? Or, nej, det har jeg ikke. Har, because har et problem. Du har et problem med det. Har du et problem med det? Ja, det har jeg. Nej, det har jeg ikke. Okay, down here. Du har fornyet dit pas. Du har fornyet dit pas. Okay, statement. Har du fornyet dit pas? Har du fornyet dit pas? Okay. Question. Very important. Ja, det har jeg. Nej, det har jeg ikke. I think you get that point by now. Okay. Du er gift. Du er gift. Or, er du gift? Er du gift? Er du gift? You can also put the stress in different places. Er du gift? Er du gift? Ja, det er jeg. Nej, det er jeg ikke. Same. In the response, you have to make sure that the verb matches. Du er gift. So be det er jeg, or det er jeg ikke. Same here, har du, or du har fornyet dit pas. So har also has to be in the response. Ja, det har jeg. Again, it's very basic, but some of you might feel tempted to say like gør, like do. Yes, I do. But that is not agreement. It's not grammatical agreement. It's kind of like, oh, you're responding to something else. So pay attention to that. Let's see. Du bor her. Du bor her. Bor du her? Bor du her? Okay, nice. Ja, det gør jeg. Ja, det gør jeg. Nej, det gør jeg ikke. Nej, det gør jeg ikke. So again, here's gør, right? Because bor is like a general verb, right? Living. So therefore, gør would make the most sense. Right? Yeah, det gør jeg. Det gør jeg ikke. Mm-hmm. Of course, you could also make it long and say, nej, jeg bor ikke her. But that is unnecessarily wrong. Nej, ja, right? Jeg bor ikke her. Og ja, jeg bor her. This is something you might see in a textbook because the teachers, they want to tell you that you need to make it very long and detailed and full. But in the real world, in Denmark, people don't talk like this. Jeg bor ikke her. Bor du her? Jeg bor ikke her. Nej. Ja, det gør jeg. Og ja, jeg gør. Ikke? Og nej, det gør jeg ikke. Okay, næste. Du vil hjælpe mig. Du vil hjælpe mig. Super. Vil du hjælpe mig? Vil du hjælpe mig? Question. Right. Du vil hjælpe mig. Vil du hjælpe mig? Mm-hmm. Ja, det vil jeg. Og vil jeg? Ja, det vil jeg. Nej, det vil jeg ikke. So again, vil, it has to match with this. Du vil hjælpe mig. Vil du hjælpe mig? Ja, det vil jeg. Nej, det vil jeg ikke. And then some of you now might be thinking, well, Thomas, why do you say it like vil when it's vil, V-I-L? Well, the thing is, most of the time, we don't really pronounce it as vil. It's too much work. We just like to say vil. Det vil jeg godt. Right? Just like jeg is often pronounced as ja. Jeg er glad. In the real world, people don't say, jeg er glad. That's what I do in these videos. But in Denmark, when you walk around or when you're watching TV or something like that, it's gonna be a little more, contracted. Or whatever. Let's see. Alright, cool. Næste. Hvem er den mand? Hvem er den mand? So, pretty easy, right? Han er min bedste ven. Han er min bedste ven. Now, this is a little more challenging, but only a little bit. Not so hard, though. Because these questions, like HV, right? See here the letters. First one is H, and then the second letter is V. So, of course, there could be any kind of answer, just like in English. I think there's a yes or no question, and then there's more like an open question or leading question. So you can get any kind of response if you say something like hvad, or hvem, or hvor, or hvorfor, and we'll get to that. Right? So hvem. Hvem er den mand? Yeah. Of course, this can only be a question. Could not be a statement. I think that goes without saying. Okay, moving on. Hvad synes du om min bil? Hvad synes du om min bil? Hvad synes du om min bil? Jeg synes, at den er okay. Jeg synes, at den er okay. Right? So, hvad synes du? Right? It's like, what do you think? And then you just take that first part. Jeg synes. Right? I think that something. Jeg synes at whatever. Right? And yeah, it's really that simple. Alright, super. Hvor bor dine forældre? Hvor bor dine forældre? So, question again, hvor, where, right? Hvor bor dine forældre? De bor i en landsby. De bor i en landsby. So once again, you notice that I don't need to say forældre. I don't need to say that noun here in the response because we know it's the parents, right? So we can just say de, they, de bor. You could say mine forældre, ikke mig. Mine forældre bor i en landsby. But it's unnecessary. We get it from context. And this is one of the things where you can tell if somebody has only learned Danish from school and textbooks, or if they actually learned real Danish. So that means either from me or being in Denmark, like out in the world, or, you know, watching something that's not educational, right? Because most educational materials, they don't really care if you speak natural Danish. They just want you to pass a test. Yeah, except me. I'm special. I'm kind of kidding, but it's also kind of true. Anyway, så ja, hvor bor dine forældre? De bor i en landsby. Super. Okay, næste side. Hvor stor er din hund? Hvor stor er din hund? Hvor stor er din hund? Så, you could say, den er ikke så stor. Den er ikke så stor. Ikke så stor. Nej. Now, of course, again, when it's about how big or how whatever, you could say so many things. This is just one example. Ikke så stor, ikke så lille, ikke så hurtig, ikke whatever. Ikke? So hvor is both like where, but it's also like how big, how many, how good, how, like, to a degree, right? What extent. So hvor bor dine forældre? Where do they live, your parents? Altså hvor stor, like how big, hvor mange, like how many, hvor meget, how much, and so on. Hvor gammel, how old. Okay. Så har vi, hvornår begyndte du at danse? Hvornår begyndte du at danse? Okay, so that's nice. Hvornår is of course when. Hvornår begyndte du at danse? Det gjorde jeg for mange år siden. Det gjorde jeg for mange år siden. Det gjorde jeg for mange år siden. Alright. So, yeah, easy. Right? And again, I don't have to say, jeg begyndte at danse for mange år siden. Why? Because the det does that for us. Like the det is that or it. I did that. Det gjorde jeg. Right? Det gjorde jeg for mange år siden. Nice. Næste. Hvorfor skriver han så langsomt? Hvorfor skriver han så langsomt? Ja. Fordi han godt kan lide det. Fordi han godt kan lide det. Right? I would actually just say because he likes it. That's better. Right? And that's that. Google, you're wrong. Like so, there you go. There we go. So, same thing. Right? We just put the det. We don't have to say, han skriver langsomt, fordi han godt kan lide det. Don't do that. It's very Duolingo. It's very textbook. It's not real Danish. I mean, it's correct, but it's not how we talk. It's not natural. So, yeah. Hvorfor skriver han så langsomt? Super. Hvordan spiser man den ret? Hvordan spiser man den ret? So again, hvordan, ikke? Like how, the way, the method, the approach. How do you do it? Hvordan spiser man den ret? Ja. Du skal bare gøre sådan her. Du skal bare gøre sådan her. Right? So again, could be many different responses depending on what they say. Sometimes it's easier to ask the question than to understand the answer, and that's why you cannot always predict what you're gonna hear. That's why you need to learn a lot in general, so you're prepared for any kind of scenario, any kind of personality. Hvordan spiser man den ret? Du skal bare gøre sådan her. Super. Okay, and then I have like a mix here at the end. Well, it's not totally the end, but it is the last section. Right? So here we have some, some mixed sentences. Spiser han virkelig ikke brød? Spiser han virkelig ikke brød? Again, we have spiser first, right? The verb, because it's a question. Har du hørt om den historie? Har du hørt om den historie? Har du hørt? Question. Right? Er det fordi, du har brug for hjælp? Er det fordi, du har brug for hjælp? Again, er det fordi, is it because? If I want to say it is because a statement, I would need to say, det er fordi. Be aware. Skal vi ikke prøve noget nyt? Skal vi ikke prøve noget nyt? And here I want to talk about the translation for a second, because shouldn't we try something new? It could mean that, but it could also be like, let's do it. Skal vi ikke gøre det? Shouldn't we do it? Let's do it. It's kind of an invitation, an encouragement. So be aware of that. It's not really looking for information or confirmation necessarily. It could also just be, hey, this is a good idea. Let's go for it. Okay, super. Ja. Hvorfor kan hun ikke forklare det? Hvorfor kan hun ikke forklare det? Ja, hvorfor kan hun ikke forklare det? Hvem tænker du på lige nu? Hvem tænker du på lige nu? Mm-hmm. Hvornår er det jul? Hvornår er det jul? Easy. You see the pattern, eh? It's not so hard. Hvad er det, du mangler? Hvad er det, du mangler? Så igen, hvad er? Right? Hvad er det, du mangler? Beautiful. Hvor finder vi det sted? Hvor finder vi det sted? Ja. Hvor finder vi det sted? Easy. Hvor meget tid brugte du på det? Hvor meget tid brugte du på det? Hvor meget tid brugte du på det? Mm-hmm. And yeah, the last one. Hvordan ser han ud? Hvordan ser han ud? So yeah, that was quite a few examples of questions in Danish. Like I said, this was very basic. This is something that you really need to know in the beginning, right? You are building your vocabulary. You are picking up new words every day, hearing phrases, watching videos here and there. Grammar-wise, you don't need to know so many things in the beginning, but this is very important. You have to know how to tell the difference between a statement and a question. Alright. In the future, I'm definitely gonna make a video where I talk about statements that have question words inside, like hvad, hvordan, hvorfor, and so on. Right? That is a point that deserves its own video, because it'll take some time to really get through it. Not because it's complicated, but because as a learner, you might feel very tempted to think that, oh, okay, question word, so therefore verb before the subject. But what matters is the sentence a question or not just whether it's a, question word. Don't worry about that just yet, not if you're a complete beginner. This was all for today, guys. This was a fairly short video, and if you found it a little bit, too much, overwhelming, confusing, that's okay. You can go and watch it again. I should also tell you that, okay, let's just open a new one here, over here. Yeah, let's do that. Just give me a second. If you are learning Danish and you think it's kind of difficult, and you think it's this, almost like mountain you're climbing, it's just a huge challenge, and you don't understand how people can, get good at it, I should also tell you that, It's not that hard. Sure, it's a challenge, but there are things you can do to make it easier. And I would say that if you are serious, if you are someone who really wants to get better, then go to danishmastery.com, because here you will find all the videos that you see on YouTube, plus many more. Like this is where you find like the complete selection. 550, or actually it's 560 videos, and it's growing. All new videos will appear here. Sometimes also videos that you don't get on YouTube. So this is the place, and it's a one-time payment. You don't have to worry that it's a recurring thing, like monthly. Oh, I have to pay again, and that's not cool. No, it's a one-time thing. And right now there is a discount, as you can see right here. So make use of that discount, because at some point, fairly soon, it will go away. Or don't wait too long. In addition to the videos, I also added a lot of bonuses, because sometimes a video is not enough, or 560 videos still not enough. So maybe you say to yourself, hey, I want to read a phrase book, so you got an ebook right here with almost 2,000 phrases in Danish. Maybe that's your thing. Or maybe you want to listen to a Danish podcast, basically just me talking to myself and then breaking stuff down, explaining some grammar, translating, and just, giving you a little exercise that way. Or maybe you want to read some documents with some grammar breakdowns, like really detailed stuff, and you can just, print it, you read the original text, and then you're like, okay, I see. So we have a breakdown here of this sentence, it's really detailed. A lot of stuff in here. This is like, if you're really serious, if you really want to learn faster and also have some more alternatives. The videos, they're cool, you can just keep watching the videos on YouTube, this, selection. But there are many videos that you don't find on YouTube, and they are all here on the website, plus a lot of other bonuses. Different types, some for grammar, some for just new vocabulary, some if you want to read or look at something kind of funny, as you can see here. There is a lot of stuff on this website. So that is it, danishmastery.com. That is where you find the entire collection. Check that out. I would say that is pretty much it for today. Like I said, I hope you learned something, and it's a really good idea taking notes, because there's a limit to how much you can remember at once. Taking notes, it might seem kind of old-fashioned, but it really works. It does. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you being here and taking your time to learn this language. Not many people learn Danish, and I appreciate that you do. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon. Take care.